can I ask the Minister for Education, Sport and Culture whether the Isle of Man teacher pay scales are consistent with the scales in England and Wales, including minimum and maximum of the pay range, and when the revised Isle of Man pay scales will be introduced?
On the Minister to reply, Mr Cregeen.
Thank you, Mr President. For many years, the Isle of Man has been aligned with the School Teachers Review Body, the STRB. In 2015, the STRB recommended a 1% increase to teachers' pay ranges, with the exception to the maximum point on the main pay scale, point M6. It was recommended that this be increased by 2%. However, they indicated that the additional 1% was discretionary and should only be applied where performance merited it. The consensus view of the island's joint unions was to avoid distortion to pay differentials. A 1% award be applied across the board for teachers in the Isle of Man. This resulted in a differential between the island's point M6 and that in place in England and Wales for teachers whose performance had merited the additional percentage rise. In September 2017, my department agreed to implement the STRB recommendation of a 2% increase to the minimum and maximum of the main pay range and a 1% increase to the minimum and maximum of all other pay ranges in the national framework, including head teacher groups, and also allowances across all pay ranges. This will be actioned for the October payroll, with September arrears being paid in November. At a joint unions meeting in November 2017, it came to light that over the last 2 years, most schools and academies in the UK had applied the 2% increase across each point on the main teaching scale, and not just to the at M1 and M6, as literally stated in the STRB. It was therefore agreed to apply the 2% increase to each point on the main teaching pay scale from September 2017. This will be implemented in December's payroll, with the arrears being paid in December. As honourable members will be aware, there is significant competition trying to attract teachers to the island. We must ensure as far as possible that our pay rates do not appear to be less advantageous than those available in England and Wales, excluding the London area. It is for that reason that, with effect from September 2017, my department has agreed to increase the M6 point to mirror the main scale point published in the School Teachers' Pay and Conditions document for England and Wales. It is expected that this increase to the M6 will be implemented in the December payroll. However, given the early payment of Christmas payroll arrears, it will not be processed until January.
Supplementary, Mr Robertshaw.
Thank you, Mr President. Just for clarity, how long, if I've understood his answer correctly, how long have UK school establishments been ignoring the STRB in the UK? Is it just this last year, or did it happen previous to that?
Minister to reply.
There was a meeting with the joint unions on the island, and it was agreed to just that the 1% wouldn't be applied at that time. And what's happened over the last 2 years, schools and academies have decided to implement the discretionary part of that. So what the department has done now is we've now caught up with that so that pay scales are the same.
Supplementary, Miss Edge.
Thank you, Mr President. Can the Minister confirm whether there will be any backdated pay or arrears of pay for the people that should have been on it in 2015?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr President. As this was discretionary, what I've said in my answer is that it will be backdated to September of this year.